while we wait for the India versus New Zealand test match to begin in Bengaluru, unfortunately it's been delayed because of steady rain, and looking at the weather forecast, it is still raining at this point. We decided we'll give you the morning wrap as to what is happening outside of Indian cricket at this point in time. Because when you look at the India versus New Zealand test match, we are in for a very, very bad delay. And unfortunately, from now till Sunday, the weather forecast isn't looking good. But before I come to the nuances of the India versus New Zealand test match, there is a lot happening in the aftermath of what has happened in the T20 World Cup. In the Women's T20 World Cup, India have been eliminated. We have our four finalists: Australia, New Zealand, West Indies, South Africa. Australia will take on South Africa. West Indies will take on New Zealand, and the winner will get. They will reach the final. Will it be Australia versus West Indies, New Zealand versus South Africa, or Australia versus New Zealand? We all will be seeing that in the near future. But there is now question marks over Harmanpreet Kaur. Will Harmanpreet Kaur be replaced after India's disastrous T20 World Cup campaign? Now, Mithali Raj, the former India batter and one of the greats of the game, has said that if the time for change has to come, it has to come now. She has not advocated for Smriti Mandhana to take over. Smriti Mandhana has been the vice captain for a couple of years now, but she says that she would want India to be led by a young captain, and she has called for Jemima Rodriguez to lead the Indian cricket team in the aftermath of India's disastrous campaign in the T20 World Cup. Now, there is a huge problem there because India's transition, if not Mandana, if not Harmanpreet, then what do they do? Because now India will have three ODIs against the White Ferns that's coming up in November. So this is going to be a big challenge. Do the selectors persist with Harmanpreet Kaur until the 2026 edition, or are they going to go for change now? Because Harmanpreet, in her captaincy, when you look at it, 2022 ODI World Cup, 2024 T20 World Cup, it's not been a good run for her at all. And 2023, even the T20 World Cup there also, she didn't do well. So unfortunately, it's not been good for women's cricket in India at this stage. Harmanpreet Kaur to be replaced, and Mithali Raj has either called for Jemima Rodriguez to come in, or she's not advocated for Smriti Mandana at this stage. So that is the current situation regarding the India women's team. Now, yesterday, West Indies put on a great display and they knocked England out. So, for the first time since 2010, England have not made it to the finals of the Women's T20 World Cup. And that is a huge, huge shock for the likes of Heather Knight, Nat Siver, Danny Wyatt, all these veterans who are there in the England women's team. It's a big blow to them. Now, as far as the men's cricket situation is concerned, Kamran Ghulam, the Pakistan batter who made a century on debut, he has spoken out about his travails. He stated that yes, it was a painful 4-year wait for him. Like he had to perform well in domestic. 4 years ago, he had done well, but now he had to again start from scratch, other major obstacles. And then he said that Babar Azam is a legend, but the way how he was dropped, that was not playing on his mind. He just wanted to ensure that he stuck to his basics and got Pakistan going in a big way. So Pakistan and Kamran Ghulam, they have really done well, and that's why 259, quite a good situation for them, and that's why it's a great feeling indeed. Now, as far as the Sri Lanka versus West Indies T20 is concerned, it was a convincing win. Sri Lanka registered their biggest ever T20 win versus the West Indies. It was Dunit Vellalage who managed to take 3 for 9, and that is why Sri Lanka are now 1-1 in the series versus the West Indies. The final T20 will happen quite shortly. Then it will be followed by 3 ODIs that's going to take place. So West Indies versus Sri Lanka, even that is very neatly poised. But now there is a bit of a very disturbing news that has emerged from Sweden, and it is particularly related to this story that is there. Kylian Mbappe investigated for rape in Sweden. So a Swedish prosecutor said a rape investigation had been opened without mentioning Kylian Mbappe following media reports that the Real Madrid and France star was a suspect following a visit with friends to Stockholm. Now, however, Mbappe's representatives have stated the allegations are totally false and it's a slanderous rumor. Now, it is said that the alleged crime occurred at a hotel on October 10th, but did not name a suspect, and said no further information could be shared for the moment. Now, this is very, very disturbing at this stage. Kylian Mbappe, one of the top football stars in the world, one of the greats in this modern era, he's now under investigation for rape in Sweden. And this is the thing, rape report not good for France team, says Didier Deschamps. So that's the situation which is developing at this stage. Now, Gukesh, Tomaraju Gukesh is now preparing for the World Chess Championships, and there is just about a month and a half remaining in his preparations that he will face against Ding Liren in Singapore. Now, apparently, at this stage, Gukesh has stated that Ding will come in the right spirit. He's not taking anything for granted. He also said that why are you in this championship cycle, and why did Magnus go out? He says that, see, Magnus was bored of the current championship cycle, but I find it interesting. Magnus has his own way of working. I have my own way of working in that sense. So, in that way, Gukesh, I'll be doing a detailed video on the key quotes that Gukesh gave in the press conference leading up to the World Chess Championship, November 23rd to December 13th. That is the period in which Gukesh is going to play in the World Chess Championship. India will be backing him to the hill. Now, the HIL auctions have happened, and Udita Duan has emerged as the costliest buy in the HIL auction amongst the women. Now, today is the final day of the HIL auctions that's going to happen. So, let's see. Most of the squads are built. Today, you will see the culmination of the squads that is there. So, we'll be doing a video on that as well. So, stay tuned to Sports Today for that also. Now, there is another bit of news that has come in that India has asked the Commonwealth Games Federation to add shooting and wrestling in the Glasgow Games. So, Glasgow is going to host the 2026 Commonwealth Games, and they said that these are the sports which are there. Golf, BMX, coastal rowing are all set to make their debuts. Coastal rowing. Wow, that is a new thing. And BMX is there, BMX biking, and also golf. So, I mean, BMX and coastal rowing. Wow, these are the two new sports which are going to be added in the Commonwealth Games. So, this is the thing. Shooting and wrestling. India has requested the CGF to add these two. Let's see whether they'll do it. Now, the problem that we are seeing, many people have asked us, why does the BCCI hold matches in cities that are rain impacted? Now, understand one thing, how the situation works. BCCI and the venue, the itineraries are all decided much before. The itineraries are decided much before, doesn't take into account the rain, doesn't take into account anything. It's decided much in advance, and also the rotation of venues. As you know, in India, every venue will have a chance, that's as per the rotation bit, and that is why all the venues, all the test matches are given well in advance. Now, if it rains in that particular period of time, then you cannot help it. This time, Bengaluru is seeing rain at this particular period in time because of a cyclonic impact that has happened in the eastern coast. So that's why for the next 2 to 3 days, it's not looking good at all. In fact, many people have said until Sunday the weather is bleak. Are we seeing a total washout? We don't know at this stage. But as of now, day one, it's a complete. It's not looking good. The covers are firmly in place, and looking at it, let's see whether anything can happen. So, BCCI, they plan well in advance to give the venues. Rain, if it doesn't happen, great. If it happens, then you have to take it on the chin and move on. So that is the current situation looking at the thing. So this was the morning wrap that was done. Lots of sporting action today. If you look at it, it's the shooting World Cup finals. You'll see the 50-meter rifle 3-position finals, as well as trap and skeet that will happen on today and tomorrow. The finals will happen tomorrow. 50-meter rifle 3 positions and 25-meter pistol events. That is the final events that's going to happen. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning wrap. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to download the Sports Talk mobile app for all the information you need in English and Hindi. Let's hope that the weather clears and we see some action in the India versus New Zealand first test. Otherwise, today it looks to be a total washout. Danush is saying BCCI should learn geography and choose venues for cricket matches. But Danush, BCCI had learned geography, and that is why they told Afghanistan cricket to host the test match in Greater Noida. Now, geography decided to do a total U-turn and say, let's have unprecedented rainfall in September. What do you do then? Climate change, my friend, it's very fickle. Try and organizing in that sense. Not trying to defend the BCCI, but climate change is real. It's seen in the cricket that is there. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us. Bye-bye. We'll be back with more updates.